You guys see that down there? Like down there, right underneath this video. Yeah, I'm talking about the floor. That floor looks dangerous and I don't want to go anywhere near it. If you guys can help me out, leave a like on this video and I'll do my best to never touch the floor again. Because today we're playing Plague Inc. and the floor is out to get us. Let's call our plague the floor it. It does seem a little weird, okay? Why would I name a plague the floor it? It doesn't really sound like a real name for something, but there's a reason why I like it. Because now we can start infecting the world with the floor it. Now, where should we start with floor in it? I think we should probably start in the United States. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult in the United States because they have such a good healthcare system compared to other parts of the world. But it is my home, you know, where I started, where I came from, and I want to floor it immediately from this place. Let's see how it works out in our favor. The floor. It begins in the US. Yeah, that's right. That's why I wrote that like that. The floor. It has infected the first human in the US of A. And that is how our virus is going to be spreading from here. The floor. It is a virus. Oh, well, you can't touch the floor now. The floor is a virus and that's bad news. So we just got to stay away from the floor. We just got to be hanging up on top of our chairs here. And so far, it's going to be starting off very slowly here. Okay. We got 2 people infected total with the floor. It's gonna take some time for sure before we see any sort of real movement or action. That's kind of how it's been playing ever since I started playing this game. Let's actually speed it up a bit and see all these planes and boats going fast. I was gonna say planes and trains, but it is not exactly what this is. These are definitely boats here. There's no way trains go over water. Wouldn't make any sense. The floor. It is mutated and developed cysts without using DNA points. That's good, I guess. What kind of floor cyst does that have? Or at least what would the floor it cysts besides just spread more of our florid virus? Aha! Just reached itself into Florida, I see. Florid all the way down to Florida. That's about the joke. That's about all the joke that you're gonna get out from that. Because we're just gonna have to watch and wait for this florid to get to other parts of the world, and it just mutated the floor. It is mutated and developed abscesses, whatever that may be. We actually should look at some of these things that we have. We just got a new symptom called abscesses. Pockets of infected flesh are painful and act as breeding grounds for the pathogen. Ew. Increasing infection rates when bursts. So it's just like the cysts where, you know, where they got that little bit of burst, you know, like the pimple popping sort of thing. So gross. Let's just go ahead and get some of these upgrades going for our florid virus. Like, we should definitely get some things to help it flow through the air a little bit better, and maybe even just dip its toes in the water. I think that will help it out in the long run as well. We still only have a total of 7 people infected with the florid. So not many people are getting infected with florid right now, all right? It's taking its sweet time, even at a faster rate. Let's try and speed things up even more now. Look at all of this traffic. It's going so fast and so hard, but that's fine. We're just gonna keep waiting for it to keep mutating. Like the floor, it has mutated and developed the tumor symptom. Well, that doesn't sound great, but what does sound great is using some of our points to keep the transmission going. Like this one for livestock, which means that in rural regions, it will be increase in infectivity with the floor. Come on, we gotta floor it. We gotta get all of this working as fast as possible. Right now, we're still only in the US of A with 13 people infected. It's gonna take a lot more time in the US trying to get this infection to spread, because not many people are touching the floor, you know? Most people are definitely just sitting on their couches right now. They're not even thinking about the floor that's sitting underneath them. They're just trying to get by without having to get that florid. There's nothing up with that. People are probably laying on the floor now and probably just getting a bit of a irritation from the carpet, or maybe they have hardwood floors, or maybe they have bugs in their floors. Maybe that's what it is. There's bugs in the floor. Get those bugs out of the floor. We gotta floor it. Come on, let's go. The floor. It is mutated and developed hypersensitivity symptoms. It is getting a lot, and I mean a lot of mutations early on. Like looking at this, we already have a pretty good infectivity and a little bit of severity, but it's that infectivity that we really need to focus on. So maybe we should actually look at getting some of these transmissions, like maybe the birds. Birds will be able to transmit this with infectivity across land and across the air. So let's get some bird transmissions with the florid disease. I mean, how often do you see a bird sitting on the floor, you know, just chilling out, taking its time, you know, relaxing its wings because it doesn't want to fly? But maybe, just maybe, it'll be able to start spreading some more birds to stand on the floor as well. The floor, it is mutated and developed a sweating system. Oh, well, I could feel that. Anytime I have to walk on the floor, I get all sweaty too. Mainly because the walking and taking all that energy trying to move. Very high levels of bird migration expected. Awesome, that's perfect because we actually just got our bird transmission up for the florid disease, which means it's gonna start flooring its way down to other countries, maybe even across the water. Oh no, the floor, it is mutated and developed the paralysis symptom using DNA points. So now it's getting paralysis to people? That's not good. That's not good at all. Now people are gonna be worried about getting this. I'm not gonna like that. I'm gonna have to use DNA points to devolve that symptom. That way people aren't getting paralyzed while trying to floor it, you know? That doesn't sound good at all. Festival of Love in the US. Yeah, they want to share this florid disease. That's what it is. I mean, the virus. They want to share this florid because it has some pretty insane abilities. It's some pretty good stuff here. And like this, it's got another mutation of the coughing symptom. Ugh. Now the floor is gonna be coughing, or at least a lot of people are gonna be coughing on the floor. Woo! And look at that. With no time at all, we actually just crossed over into Mexico, which is the southern country to the US. And we just got Canada too, which is north of the US. Scientists have been breaking through in the understanding of inflammation and will be able to cure diseases with it more easily. That doesn't sound good. Do we have anything inflammatory? No, we do not. We actually are pretty good on that scenario. So let us go back and figure out another way to transmit this florid. Probably not through the water. If I was able to floor it through the water, I'd just be running on water like that. That'd be pretty cool. Florid has mutated and developed inflammation symptom without using DNA points. That is not good because we just figured out that it would be easier for them to try and get rid of. That's not good. That's not good at all. I just said we didn't want inflammation. So let's get rid of inflammation and let's continue to grow our points from there. I don't think we need that as much as we would need everything else that we're getting. Ugh. Wait a minute. A plane just dropped into India and has also floored it all the way over there. And now we're getting country after country getting a bit of the florid virus. What the heck? Oh man, this is so many people flooring it right now. In a normal checkup, a doctor in Mexico found a new disease that has been given the name the floor-it. It appears that it's mostly harmless. Good. Oh, but then it's getting its first death. Somebody's died to the floor. How did somebody die to the floor disease? And now we have insomnia. The floor, it is mutated and developed the insomnia symptom without using DNA points. Okay, so now the floor is getting people restless. You know, people are now tired. They don't even want to stay up anymore. Are just popping up with red bubbles. I don't even have fast enough hands to move like this. Quickly, get on the floor. Let's run. Run and get all these bubbles. Get the bubbles, get the bubbles. Okay. It looks like we're getting lots and lots of DNA points from this. Look how many DNA points we've just gotten from it, as well as it just mutated. The floor, it is mutated and developed fever symptom without using DNA points. That is insane. This is going nuts. Wow, that number is going up high. We already got to 3 billion people in the world. And then increased rainfall, that's okay. And it just keeps getting faster. I realize that we are kind of speeding up this process by being in a faster speed, so we can actually slow it down for a second and use these 200 DNA points that we have set aside here to start getting our transmission to last longer. We haven't even got any of the core abilities for our virus to actually stay and spread. The floor it hasn't even got cold resistance yet. So now we're gonna get the floor cold and heat resistance. That way it doesn't bend or warp, as well as we're going to get some drug resistance and some genetic hardening, because I want that science to be as slow as possible while we keep sending out the floret. Now, what else do we need to worry about? Probably these insects here, because I think insects transmit really well in some of these countries, as well as handle the heat in some of these countries better, because most of these colder countries are handling things fine, and I should probably take care of that, getting me some cold resistance abilities. Thank you. And now the floor, it is mutated and developed the immune suppression symptom. That's good. Maybe there's a possibility it is. Brazil now is leading the global cure effort and is going to start sending out blue planes so they can get better science in order to combat the floret disease. Okay, Brazil, I see it. You guys don't want to floret as much as I do. That's fine. We're just gonna slowly but surely get all of these countries like Greenland, because Greenland was the hardest one to ever get infected, especially with the floor. Most people in Finland don't use floors, okay? They just stand on the ground. The floor, it is mutated and developed the anemia symptom without using DNA points. All right, that could be pretty good, maybe. I mean, like most of these symptoms, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know entirely about, and it's mainly just getting the spread of this disease that matters to me, especially since I created the floor. The floor, it is mutated and developed the hemophilia symptom without using DNA points. That's probably going to spread a little bit faster. As you can see, parts of this world are just getting crazy fast with these red dots, especially in Greenland and as well as Norway, but Sweden is slowly holding it back. I can see Sweden is though getting covered up in red dots, and it looks like scientists will find it easier to develop cures with any disease with inflammation. Okay, wait a minute. Thought I got rid of inflammation. Hold on a sec. Get that inflammation out of here. That's gonna slow down the process, and that doesn't sound good at all. So let us just get more genetic reshuffle as well as this heat resistance, because I think getting all of this resistance will do us a really good job, as well as let's get some genetic reshuffle here, okay? We've got plenty of points to spare, but I don't want to use all of them just yet, because I'm gonna have to eventually flip the switch on the floret disease, and everyone who's in the world has finally been infected with the floret. So now we have the potential to start upgrading our symptoms on our disease, because the lethality isn't that high, but the severity is pretty up there. It's like maybe 1/3 up there. But now we should look at other ways of getting the lethality up, and one of them that I'm looking at is paralysis. Paralysis probably will do wonders, and then total organ failure or coma. One of those two will do the job. Trust me, I could see it, especially with total organ failure, that lethality is jumping through the roof. And since everyone's already infected with the floret disease, we might as well floor it and get everyone infected with that. So now we're gonna slowly see these numbers just drop down in the world, because everyone has been floored. It is getting floored, and it is going to be so insane. It's gonna be crazy fast, because now the floor, it is mutated and developed the internal hemorrhaging symptom. Okay, more symptoms are being added to this thing, and it's still just going at it, trying to get the entire world. Okay, Blue Plane, I see what you're trying to do here. It's actually catching up pretty fast. It is getting close. With 2 billion people left in the world, there's still 60% on that research, and they could potentially catch up in enough time, but we just crossed the 1 billion mark on who's still infected in the world. The floor, mutation. Scientists are struggling to understand the extraordinary mutation patterns of the floret. WHO researchers are saying that this setback will damage cure efforts. Oh no, the floor, it has set back science, and now it is literally flooring out the rest of the world. There's only 300 million people left in the world, and I am not believing that they can get this cured in enough time. They only have 66%, but the floret virus is again mutated with skin lesions. The flora, it is mutated in skin lesions, and now we got more DNA points than we need, because the world has been floored. We floored it all. This virus, the floret, has definitely conquered Plague Inc., because the world is now all red dots. no matter how much science they do, they're still dropping in numbers. And we just got the hemophilia and skin lesions, which is causing the infected to have blood pouring out of their skin. Fluoride is dangerous. The fluor, it is far more dangerous than I could have ever imagined when it comes to being crazy virus here. All right, in Plague Inc. 1 million people are still infected, but it is still going. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. The fluor, to eradicate humans. The fluor, it has destroyed the world. The fluor has destroyed the world despite the world's best efforts. That is insane. I can't believe it. Everyone is just on the floor now. Legit. Because the fluor is part of them as a virus. It is their parts, you know? And there it is. At 5,000 people left, I'm watching the fluor. It just demolished the world. And that's a victory. It is. The fluor. It has successfully eliminated all life on Earth. I can't believe the fluor has done it. Wow. What the heck? We couldn't outrun the fluor. It's like it's always there underneath us. If you guys enjoyed the video, then smash that like button and also drop a comment down below. Let me know if there's any other, and if you're excited to watch more, and if you want to watch more videos, then click on that subscribe button. That way you can watch them when they show up on my channel. Like this one that just popped up in the corner of the screen. I don't know about you, but if you tap or click on it right now, you'll probably get some extra points out of it. No, I'm serious. This one's definitely gonna give you some points, just like in the game. All you have to do is tap or click on it and it'll pop you right there.